Now, there are a few different ways to create a Google Plus profile, and none of them are wrong, but the way that I do it ensures that you have much more flexibility with Google. Now, everything starts with a Google account. Now, Google is no different than any other very popular website out there that is constantly changing things to stay up with technology. Now, I believe many of the changes have led up to the latest change where Google has made all of their products accessible from one single account. Now, as you can see, I am logged out of my account because I can't show you how to create an account without being signed out of my own account. So instead, I am going to create an account for my alter ego named Relum Enaz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to accounts.google.com/signup. The link is in the associated PDF guide if you want to go right to it. And as you can see by the note here, one account is all you need. This will control Google, Gmail, Chrome, YouTube, Maps, Picasa, GooglePlus, and pretty much everything that Google has its fingers in. So this truly is your foundation. Now, it's important to keep in mind that everything that you create will have to come from this Google account. But don't worry, if you want to create a separate business entity from yourself, from your own personal profile, it's a simple matter of creating a Google Plus page. Pages can create communities, events, hangouts, everything that you can do on a personal profile. Now, the reason why I tell you this is because Google Plus pages can transfer ownership. This way, in the future, if you need to cut ties with a business entity, whether you're selling it or you're just simply closing it down, you can close down or transfer that particular page, which controls the YouTube channel, the Hangouts, the AdWords account, so on and so forth. But none of this can happen unless you have your own personal Google account. One of the big reasons Google is doing it like this is because they want to make sure that there is an individual, a human being, a real person that is responsible for anything created within that personal account. Now, I tell you all of that to tell you this. Many of you already have a Google account, and if you do, I strongly encourage you to sign in under that Google account and creating a Google Plus profile and pages and so on and so forth from there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put in this information here. Before I do, I want to point this out. When you create a Google account, Google wants to give you a Gmail address, and that's great if you want to do that. But personally, for my own account, I have my own email address that I use for pretty much everything. So instead, I just clicked here and I said I prefer to use my current email address. And then it changes it a little bit and says, okay, you can use your regular email address instead of a new Gmail address. Now, what this will do is anything that happens on your Google account, from your personal profile to any pages that are connected to it, to communities, anything like that, you will receive notifications based on those activities to your email address. Now, you can change all of these settings later on in case you don't want this massive overload of information from Google when people interact with your different entities. Now, I decided to go ahead and create a Gmail address with this particular account because, again, it's more meant for demonstration purposes, and I don't really want to use any of the current email addresses that I have. So once you're finished with this, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Submit. At this point, it's going to ask to verify your account, and the phone number that you put in during the registration process is featured right here, and you can either choose for a text message or a voice call. Click Continue. And when either you are called by Google or sent a text message, you enter your verification code right in here and click Continue. Now, at this point, Google does 90% of the work for you. It's created a Gmail account for me, and it's also set me up with a Google Plus profile for Relum Enaz. Now, it's encouraging me to upload a photo to my Google Plus profile, so instead of having this little blue circle dude, I have an actual picture of me. Now, at this point, it is strongly encouraged to have a visible headshot. This is meant so that you can verify your own personal Google Plus profile, which is very important for further benefits later on down the road with Google. So at this point, I would not delay it or say, hey, I'll go and do that later. Upload a photo now that has a clear headshot of your face so that Google's robots can identify, yes, this is a real person, this is their picture, and then it verifies your personal Google Plus profile. Okay, so I have a good solid picture of me, And instead of me in a red shirt, this is me in a green shirt. So this is my alter ego. Feel free to follow me if you so choose, but I don't think there's really going to be much on there. All right, so I'm going to click this button that says Set as Profile Photo. So now, as you can see, instead of the blue guy with the circle around it, it's me, a clear headshot of my face, and this is how I will appear on my profile. This is also the same icon that will show up across all areas of Google Plus when you leave a comment, things like that. And if you create a YouTube channel and connect it to this particular Google Plus account, this will be the avatar, the little picture on your YouTube channel. So now I'll click Next Step, and here we are set up. Now, if you've had experience with Google Plus in the past, this should look familiar. You've got your plus, your first name, and this takes you directly to the homepage of your Google Plus profile. You can jump into Google Search, images, so on and so forth. But I can also jump into Gmail, YouTube, anything like that directly from here. A lot of it can also be accessible from this point. So we'll just go ahead and click on Get Started.